So I've been to see 1917 twice now, and it's an absolutely astonishing film. There isn't a wasted frame. Every frame is accounted for from the very first to the very last. It's just so meticulously planned the whole way through. The plot is pretty straightforward. It's just two soldiers that have to cross no man's land to warn another battalion not to go on the attack because they're going to be ambushed. The first time I saw it, after about 5 minutes, I leaned over to my father who sat beside me and I said, "Have you noticed there being a single cut in the whole film yet? It is all shot in this style, like it's one take, like a oneer. You only have one camera angle that is just in constant movement with the film." It's similar to the way that Emmanuel Lubezki does in his movies, and like The Revenant and Birdman, but I didn't think it was so over stylized, or you weren't as aware of it. I felt like when Lubezki does it, you're so aware of the cinematography, and it actually outshines the film or the filmmaking. It doesn't complement it like this does. I wasn't surprised when I learned that it was Roger Deakins that was the cinematographer for 1917. He just keeps getting better with every movie he's made. I also watched a behind the scenes featurette on 1917, and it just broke down the way that they shot the movie. For instance, one scene, it's on the upper floor of a building, second floor, first floor, whatever you call it, depending where you're from, and the camera goes through the window. And when the angle clears the field of view of the window frame, it physically opens off camera, so the camera can be attached to a wire, and then it lowers down to ground level. When a camera operator grabs it, they follow the protagonist who walks through this village or town then, and he comes across one of his enemies. So as he's being chased, a motorbike pulls up behind the camera. You're completely unaware of this. The camera operator stands on the motorbike. The motorbike sets off so that the hero can start running towards the camera. And it's all just done so seamlessly. You're so immersed and entranced in the movie. And the whole movie is shot like this. And when I say that, I really can't do it justice. You can't understand the enormity or the level they go to capture this effect. But it's not really an effect, it's more of a style. The whole movie was shot in this style, but it complemented it so well. You were so unaware of it. It really helped move the story along. Sam Mendes said he wanted to develop this new style of filmmaking, and I know there are movies that have done this before, like Rope and Russian Ark, but not to this level. I don't think nothing I'd seen before anyway. Sam Mendes said it was more like a piece of theatre, because if there was anything went wrong, the actors just had to adapt and go with it. They couldn't just go back to the start of the take. They had to evolve or use it and just move forward with it. And with the camera being in perpetual motion, it really helped move the story along. You always felt like you were progressing. There was no stagnant part in the whole film. The colour and the light in the film was also matched the tone. It would desaturate, and for want of a better way to describe it, it just felt really grey. And it really helped you feel like things that you wouldn't think about with war. Like they're just constantly wet and the clothes never get dry, so they're always cold. And you're just always hungry because there's no food around, and they're just scavenging like bits and pieces that they can get along the way. Roger Deakins said himself that words just can't describe this film. You really have to go and see it, and that is so true. Even describing it to people the way I've described it, I can't capture the grandioseness and the scale of it. Like when I say, "Oh, it looks like a really long take," people think, "Oh, there's like maybe a scene is shot in one take for like 6 minutes." No, from pretty much from the start. There's a break in the middle, and then to the end, it looks like two takes the whole movie. Sam Mendes said that the cuts are hidden, but not in obvious spaces. I think there was maybe three or four when I was watching the movie. I was like, they could have cut it here, but it wouldn't make sense because it would have split a scene like midway through acting. And in the short I watched with Sam Mendes, he said that is the way that actually they did do it. They put the cuts in places where you would not think they'd be at all. I think there was one whip pan And there was one where they go into a room and it goes black for a couple of frames, and there were two places that they could have cut, but like I said, that'd break up the action from the actors, and it doesn't feel like that's where they would be, but that's where he said they would be. But still, I can't explain just the mastery of the craft, and it's not a gimmick, and it's not over stylized. It's just perfectly suited to this film. I could not recommend it highly enough to anybody. If you have any interest, just go see it. Powerful film, very good show. Except for the fella I was chatting to after I saw it the second time, who said, "Oh, what a lot of shite that was." Well, stood beside him in the toilet cubicle, and he proceeded just to piss all over the floor. So I don't really think we can take his point of view as anything to go by. So if you like this video, please give it a like. Comment down below if you've seen it or what you thought of it, or if there's any other films you think I should see. And hit that subscribe button. Costs you nothing, but it means the world for... Costs you nothing, but it means the world to me. And as always, thanks for coming. What's your man? Big Bella, great big English director. Always get him in profile. Hitchcock's Rope.